from the director of Mortal Kombat. The Neo Geo Pocket Color lives again, and PlayStation has shown off a bunch of cool indie games to look forward to. All that and the latest and everything cool today in the Rundown. Welcome to the Rundown, everybody. Hope you're all having a great day today. Happy Hump Day, happy Wednesday. This is the Rundown Live, and it's going out to Robert Tolan, who was the first one in the room. We've got some very fun news to get to today. I've had some time to check out a little bit of the new Mortal Kombat movie. I've been in touch with Warner Brothers, and they've connected me with not only the director and the producer, but they've given me a little taste of the film. So let's talk about that right now with Robert Tolan's Rundown. Now, we've all seen this very cool trailer that has hit, and one of the things that I picked up from talking with Todd Garner, who's the producer, and also Simon McQuoid, who is the director of the film, is that they really wanted to go for authenticity with this movie. It was really important to both of them and to everybody involved to connect with all of the fans that are out there, and they really benefited from movies like Deadpool and Atomic Blonde and John Wick and Black Panther from, allowing these guys to cast an international group of people that were really competent as fighters, but also maybe not marquee names and super famous all around the world, but gave the characters an air of legitimacy, and they could also handle all of their combat moves. Todd Garner mentioned that there is one scene in there which has about 30 different moves that are choreographed in one take, and these actors could pull that off. So they're a lot more than just actors. The movie really is supposed to be a martial arts movie as opposed to just a video game movie. There was a lot of hesitation at Warner Brothers about investing so much into a quote-unquote video game movie, but all of the filmmakers, everybody behind the scenes was able to kind of show them that the audience was out there. People wanted an R-rated film that really honored and respected all of the incredible, history of these characters and this game series, and people just wanted something modernized and brand new. But of course, there was also an element of kind of starting fresh as well, because there has been really phenomenal Mortal Kombat work in the past. Everybody loves that classic movie. And yes, the classic Mortal Kombat theme song is going to be a part of the new Mortal Kombat film, which is kind of crazy. But obviously, there was some attention paid to the people out there that may not be super familiar with Mortal Kombat. And in fact, Todd Garner, the producer, says, if you don't know anything about the game, what's the best way into this movie and what's the most entertaining way to bring just the regular audience into the movie? And we said, let's go back to the beginning and let's show people the emotional story. Let's get people invested in these characters, which makes a tremendous amount of sense. And we also got a chance to connect with Simon McQuoid, who is a first-time director. And what's interesting about him is that he actually has some video game experience. He worked on Halo commercials in the past. He worked on this incredible Long Live Play commercial. You guys remember this from the PlayStation 3 era, where he combined all kinds of different characters from the PlayStation universe into a really compelling series of spots. And it was surreal to see it was a surreal thing to see this commercial and to see all these actors, kind of bring these different characters to life. It was really wonderful. This is where all of these characters honor Michael, the player, and how they Michael brought all of their adventures to life, which I thought was really cool. But Simon McQuoid was obviously very invested and aware in the passion that players have for Mortal Kombat. And so what he says is video games are really important and they really matter to the fans, and there's a reason why people are really passionate. Your brain literally goes there and lives and breathes it. I know that feeling from playing games a lot. It was why I kept saying, it's what I kept saying to everybody, to respect the material, respect the characters. These have to be the best version of these characters that have ever been seen, which is, that's a pretty that's a pretty high bar to kind of shoot for right there. But that gives you a sense of the pressure that was involved, on bringing this to the big screen, and everybody's kind of commitment to try to make this something special. And I think what we've picked up on from the trailer is that there is this awareness, right? I mean, the world has changed since the mid-90s when video game movies were a kind of a weird novelty and people just looked at it as a licensing experiment. Now there's just so much built-in awareness for these properties and these characters. One of the things that Todd Garner kept telling me was that he came from Disney and he just had mad respect for what Kevin Feige and Bob Iger and all of the creative people behind the MCU have been able to do. I'm sure every producer on Earth has mad respect for Kevin Feige at this point, but they've been able to go off and connect tangentially at least with all of these characters and deliver all of these really cool stories in a bunch of different directions and satisfy huge chunks of the audience out there, the comic book super fans, but also people that are new to superhero movies, and they want to do the same thing with Mortal Kombat. We don't know for sure if that's what's going to be the case. I don't know. I've only seen the first opening bit, and I'll just explain a little bit to you. I don't want to spoil too much. I've got a tiny little taste of a clip of it as well, but the opening bit really zeroes in on Sub-Zero and Scorpion, the Scorpion clan and the Sub-Zero clan and their rivalry, and there is kind of a heartbreaking opening that kind of really focuses on an emotional core, an emotional center, and it plays to their rivalry and their hatred for each other, and it feels cool. And an incredibly violent fight sequence as well. I've got a tiny little taste of it right here. Warner Brothers shot this out, so I'm going to share this with you guys right now. Close your eyes if you don't want to see anything from the new Mortal Kombat movie. So the scene that I saw played out a little bit longer than that, and it was cool. It was well done. This is Simon McCoy's first time directing a feature film, so he's got a lot of work. He's an acclaimed a commercial director, but there's obviously a real desire to prove himself here, and this is a big deal. I can't wait to see this movie. I can't wait to catch up with Ed Boon and John Tobias down the road, and we can talk about it. I can't wait to talk about it with you guys. I haven't seen the whole thing. I've only seen a little bit, but I will definitely be back with the review on that. Something else that I'm looking forward to reviewing is, in a totally different vein, is the Neo Geo Pocket Color collection. SNK shot me out the trailer today. They are going back in time, and they're bringing back a bunch of these little tiny cartridges on this little tiny handheld system, but it's for the Nintendo Switch. So everything has been digitized and kind of reformatted and reset up. Now, I took a look at Match of the Millennium. I actually streamed it last week on the channel, and it was awesome. This is what it looks like when you're playing the game. They actually modeled the Neo Geo Pocket Color, and they put it into the sequence, and all of the characters are, big-headed, chibi side, chibi looking, so a little super deformed, cutesy. Everything's two-button, but there's still a lot of nuance in the gameplay and the mechanics. These were fighting game masters. This is what a huge chunk of what SNK focused on, was just making all of these awesome classic fighting experiences. They've got all of the the pings and the sort of low bit music, all of the chiptune type music that's in there. But you really get into the experiences, and of course they're adding some new games into this collection as well. Some Metal Slug. There's 10 games in the collection. A bunch of these have already been released as standalone, but I'm gonna get a review code for this. I'll stream some more of this. Really excited to dig into this series. I have a bunch of these carts for a Neo Geo Pocket Color. You can play them in a bunch of different ways too. You can zoom up and just make the background disappear and just focus on the games. But they also rendered models of the packaging, which is so cool. And I love this. I love this handheld machine. I thought it was I still do. I think it's awesome. I have it just sort of sitting right over here. But you can play them in a bunch of different ways, and it's like like a love letter to the SNK universe out there, which is really cool. SNK is really good at finding ways to get people back into their archive. I really dig what SNK does there, and I'm looking forward to playing the Neo Geo Pocket Color collection. Also, PlayStation today had a bunch of stuff to show us in the indie department. They had a little showcase today, and they had 7 different games that they showed off. They had a VR experience, but they wanted to show off Disco Elysium, which was a huge success in the indie world out there. I remember Ben Silverman raving about that experience. There's a game, a puzzle-type game where you play with food called Noor. There was a really cool coloring book experience called Chicory, which honestly I think this is my favorite. It just looks super cute. There's obviously there's always adventure type experiences when indie developers start sort of imagining what they want to create, especially in these 3D spaces. Operation Tango looks like it's going to be fun as well. This is asymmetrical spy type mechanics. Heavenly Bodies looks super cool, kind of like a picture book or a pop-up book type of mechanics, which is amazing. And the Puzzling Places game is the VR experience where it's a 3D puzzle. It's not just a two-dimensional puzzle where you're finding all the pieces. You're actually building everything. But I think my favorite is this Chicory experience, and I like it because I always dig video games where you're bringing life and color back to environments, and that seems to be the way that you solve puzzles in this game. Is you've got this little paintbrush mechanic, and you're painting around to, see the world in front of you. I also love the sort of little dot print kind of quality on what looks like pages. It has a really cool 2D aesthetic to it, but it makes you kind of appreciate how much we need color in games and color in our world. I'm looking forward to playing this one, but I'm also really looking forward to sitting back on the couch and digging back into Disco Elysium. I checked it out on the PC. It's it's kind of like a detective tale, and you're going around and you're interrogating people and getting into conversations with people, really in-depth, detailed conversations. As you can see, beautiful art as well. It just looks like you're kind of navigating through paintings, and you're going to meet all kinds of twisted characters. Really cool experience. If you haven't checked this one out, definitely look forward to playing Disco Elysium, and I think it comes with all the DLC and everything as well. I'm surprised it's not on PlayStation 4. Maybe this is kind of like the PS5-ized version of this game, but I do want to check this game out again. Maybe I'll stream it here when it comes out. All right, you guys, that's going to do it for the rundown today. I'll be back with a regular rundown tomorrow. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to give a big special shout out to our sponsor, the Gaming Stadium, which has been a great supporter of the rundown at Vic's Basement. Thank you so much. And to all of our subscribers and to all of our EPN members, you guys are incredible. We'll see you tomorrow with a brand new rundown. Until then, play forever.